if you speak. So there we go. For anyone that doesn't know me yet, I'll whiz through this. I am 53, be 54 in August, mum to 2 teens. We live in Cardiff. I'm here at the moment in the glorious Kefalonia. I showed them the view yesterday. It's beautiful. So I'm very, very blessed to be here and be doing a bit of work and having a bit of a holiday. And I just love getting the most out of life. My intention is to live way beyond 100 because I got so much I want to do. I got so many places I want to see. You know, I want to start skiing. Last year, I started paddleboarding. I learned how to sail. This year, I'm doing my day skipper certification so that I can hire a yacht and take my family around the Greek islands on a yacht. Maybe we'll come to Spain, Venetia. Maybe we'll go to, maybe we'll hire a yacht around the world. It's going to be, this is what I've got planned. I'm just getting started is what I'm trying to explain to you. This is how I feel about my life in my mid-50s, now approaching my mid-50s, just getting started, baby, all right? Because the freedom and the energy and the body confidence and the motivation and the mental well-being I now have is, I'm on a roll and I want this for everybody. And so this is why I'm on a mission, and this is why I'm doing these free masterclasses, and I'm posting like mad on social media, and I'm showing up to speak on stage wherever I'm invited, because I want everybody to have this. And I want everybody to know that it's not hard. It's not hard. It's there for us all, right? And I tell you what the big winner was for me. I always thought to be this healthy, you had to do a lot of exercise. You don't. You got to do a bit. You got to do a bit, right? But I'm not somebody that works out massively. Really, I'm not. It starts with food, my darlings. We can talk about intentional movement. There's certain things that you do need to do, strength in particular, but we'll talk about that when there's time. But for anyone that doesn't know me yet, 2020 is when I transformed my weight, my health, and my life. And I just had to tell the world about this. So I became a health coach. Oops, my laptop's just fallen off its stand. So I trained as a coach to coach this method. There's about 300 people coaching this program in the world. 80 of them are quite, really active. But I'm one of only 11 who has been given the award of Master Coach. And I'm the only Master Coach in the UK. And good friends with all the other Master Coaches. We collaborate. I've just set up a new collaboration with a Master Coach who lives in Mallorca. And we are a team, but I'm the only one in the UK. So I've coached 250 plus, it's probably more like 280 now, through this program with incredible success. Everybody who completes has an incredible result. Some people, how many people don't complete? Maybe 2%, maybe 2% don't end up going through it because life gets in the way or something like that. But it's still like 98%. So it's really, really high success rate. So my backstory, I know I did this yesterday, so I'll whiz through, but I was always a fun-loving high achiever. I was always surrounded by social events, food and drink everywhere. I was a busy mum, loved baking cakes for everybody's birthday. Ask me later for my cake portfolio. I even did a dartboard once that you could not tell the difference from a real dartboard. It was incredible. Loved baking cakes. But the downside of all the socializing, busyness, putting on a party, the downside was that I gained weight ruthlessly, and it did upset me because it didn't look like me in the mirror. I'm always been very pro curve, pro larger figure models, love all that because, I always did my best to be very positive about my body, and I love the whole curve positive movement. But when I looked in the mirror, it wasn't me in the mirror. I knew that I was prettier. I knew that I could look great in my chosen clothes. I like floaty things. I like, I don't necessarily need to be in a skinny pair of jeans. That's not me at all. But I just felt like a frumpy mum and my energy was low. And I was turning to drink not like I was an alcoholic or anything, but it was compulsive. I was turning to drink to relax, and because that's really, all I had the energy for of an evening. And what I didn't know back then was that I was heading for type 2 diabetes. And I know it now because of my family history. My mum and dad were both diagnosed. They've both overcome they've both reversed it with working with me. But I know that I was heading for that. And I've got incredibly good blood sugars now. So health transformation, 2 dress sizes, that was beautiful. It was life-changing. But here's the thing that I didn't expect. My cravings went. My desire for junk and unhealthy food and ultra-processed shit, all the desire for that shit went. My fatigue, the afternoon slump, joint pain, stiffness, talked about this yesterday, allergies, and also that 30 years of feeling like a failure. I've been basically dieting on and off, failing since I was a teenager. And I've now got, I'm not skinny, but I got great body confidence and I love it. I just love it. I love having my photo taken. I love swimming. I'm on the beach, down there, and I'm confident to show up on camera. And I'm really happy with my appearance now, whereas before I'd be putting more makeup on and trying to cover up and having more things done with my hair and, just like never quite being happy with the appearance in the mirror. And I can honestly say now, thank God, I have ditched dieting forever. We're going to talk a little bit about dieting. And then we're going to talk about you, my darlings. If you've got anything you'd like to share, I'm going to ask you a few questions. But how did I do it? What was this program, this magical program all about? No, it wasn't a diet. I'd done them all. We'll see in a minute. But what it was a re-education on how to eat more natural. All right, I'll show you what more natural looks like. There's a few surprises. We think we know, but there's a lot we don't know. But what I learned was exactly how to feed myself to thrive. Yeah, not just release weight, but to feel my best and have great energy and improve my health. Everything that I can measure about my health is brilliant. Everything I can measure. Resting heart rate went down 10 points, blood pressure's normalized, blood sugars are normal, so anything that you can measure is good. So if you put that on a graph, now that's given me the confidence to know that I'm in good health for the long term. It showed me why I was craving the wrong stuff. I always wondered, why do we crave the bad stuff? Well, I understand that completely now. How are we meant to burn fat without shutting down the metabolism? I used to just get weak and cold on diets. Well, how are we meant to burn fat then? It used to baffle me. And I learned that actually it's not about dieting. It's about learning to eat in a way that gives you dramatic health benefits. And as a bonus side effect, one of those health benefits is natural, sustainable weight release. And that's what we're focusing on today. So for the few of you that are in the room who weren't here yesterday, I just want to show you this slide, which is it'll get you thinking about things differently. Every species on the planet, if you can imagine, the tigers, the parrots, the elephants, the sheep, every single species has its own unique diet that has evolved over hundreds of thousands of years, right? And humans are no exception. And I just wanted to give this little example of the elephant. The elephant lifespan in its natural habitat, eating its natural diet, is 60 years average. But you take that same elephant and place it in captivity and feed it animal feed, right? Zoo animal feed. It doesn't thrive. The lifespan comes down to even a third of its natural lifespan. They develop chronic ailments. Believe it or not, they develop obesity and mental ill health. And humans are no different. So if you think about us in our natural, imagine if the human was one of those pictures. What would the human diet look like evolved? Can you imagine it? Anyone got any ideas what that could look like, the natural human diet? We'd be eating what was around, right? We'd be eating what was growing. and what we could catch and putting it on the fire. Because I think we've been making fire for something like 500,000 years, might be 1 million. So we'd be, cooking things, but it'd be what's available. And look, what is it like today? Yeah. How different is our food today from how we were meant to be eating? So if you think about the human, this is my picture of a human in captivity, right? We're going up and down those supermarket aisles. That's all that's available to us is the crap on the shelves. We are manipulated and controlled by the food industry. And some of you know this. Who's read Ultra Processed People by Chris Van Tullochen? Who's read
it?
Yeah, it's a very long read, isn't it? Anyone else read it?
I'm reading it now.
Tracy's reading it. It's a real eye-opener. And when you read it, you will be savvy to the way that the food industry is manipulating us like puppets to put money in their profits. Okay. And then you will awaken to it. They put in just the exact formula into those foods of fat and sugar and salt. They've got this exact formula that they put in to keep us craving it and buying another packet. Oh, somebody's trying to come in and I didn't notice. Let's just welcome.
You want me to make me a co-host and I can let them in?
Oh, thanks, my love. Yes, I will. That's very kind of you because I hadn't noticed that. Let's just see. Who is that? Hello, welcome. Oh, it's Shelley. Welcome, Shelley. Shelley, if you want to come on the camera, you're very welcome. Hello, Shelley. Lovely to have you with us. Oh, it's Shelley. It's you, Shelley. It's an actual Shelley. Lovely to see you, darling. Don't worry, you've missed the first 20 minutes. I'm going to share the replay. Okay, so where we've got up to is about how the food industry is keeping us hooked, manipulating us. We talked about this, didn't we, recently, right? And they're packing our foods off the supermarket shelves full of the right combination, scientifically developed and manipulated to make us wanting more. It keeps us hungry. It keeps us craving because what it does is it puts like loads of energy in there, but like sugar, but it's very low in all the essential nutrients that you would be getting if you were eating natural foods. It's low in protein, it's low in good quality fats, it's low in minerals, it's low in vitamins. Sometimes they pump vitamins in, like in cereal. They pack it with sugar to make you keep buying it, and they'll pump vitamins in so that they can put on the side, this is healthy, it's got added vitamin D. And then they make health claims. And then busy mums go, oh, this says healthy, I'll put it in the trolley. We're being manipulated. So we're constantly hungry, but we're undernourished. And that leads to the subject of this talk is weight gain and obesity. We now don't call, there's a nice new etiquette for people living with obesity. I couldn't stand it before. You're obese, you're clinically obese, morbidly obese. How awful is that? We now say people living with obesity because it's an illness that has been created by the modern world. It is not a character defect. So apart from the weight gain and the obesity, welcome Lynette, by the way, lovely to have you join us. Do feel free to jump on the camera if you want to. Not to mention that everything else that we talked about yesterday, the joint pain, the stiffness, the chronic inflammation, the irritable bowel conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, exacerbated perimenopause symptoms, brain fog, asthma, allergies, neurological conditions, mood, anxiety, depression, and even burnout. We talked more about all that yesterday. They're all side effects of eating the way they are feeding us. Okay, so we need to break free. Now, what a lot of people think is they got to go on a diet. Who here has been on a diet in the past? Yep. Who's been on lots? Yep. Who's had significant success? Great, Sally. Did it last? Great, Tracy. Did either of you find that it was lasting results? Does anybody want to jump on and share what it was like for you when you went on a diet? For my personal experience, going back to my teens, number one, starvation and calorie counting, not taking any lunch to school, won't take any lunch, trying to lose weight, trying to get into the next size down jeans, desperate hunger, desperately whatever I could grab would turn to a chocolate bar or bread and butter because I was so desperate. It was just ridiculous. Nobody taught me how to be healthy. Nobody taught me any of this. Slimming World in my 20s. Oh, that was great. Now, I know that a lot of people have had success with Slimming World because if for some people, if you were eating really, junky, it does teach you how to cook from scratch. But there's a lot of stuff they are getting wrong, and you will see. For me, I didn't understand why it was free or like half a sin to have a mug shot, which was basically ultra processed powder. Have this ultra processed powder. There's no nutrition in it whatsoever, but it's half a sin. If you're hungry, we'll talk about different hungers in a minute. If you're hungry, powder is not going to, it keeps you going half an hour. It's not satisfying your nutritional needs, your hunger. I found it demoralizing when I would queue up to weigh in and I hadn't lost 2 pounds. And it'd be like, oh, what have you been doing? You'd be like, shame. It'd be like shameful. 5'2", couldn't do it. Although massive respect for dear Mosley, may he rest in peace. Massive respect for him because he was the first to show us that we could reverse diabetes by controlling the way we ate. Huge respect. But I tried his 5'2" and I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do the 2 days without any calories or like really low calories. Didn't like calorie counting. I found it too onerous. Cambridge diet and slim fast shakes, making powder. Anyone tried them? You shake it up, you've got your shake. It's supposed to be nutritionally complete. Yeah, but it's all man-made in a factory. How much of those nutrients do we actually absorb? And how well does it actually nourish us and sustain us? I was desperate. And even if you do lose a bit of weight with the powder, as soon as you stop eating powder and go back on normal food, you put it all back on again, don't you? It doesn't train you how to eat for sustainable weight release. Atkins and keto, they were onto something because they get you into fat burning, and that is a good thing. But it didn't teach you, trying to do that the whole time didn't make any sense, completely unsustainable. Tried exercise, working out, didn't lose any weight, gained weight because I gained muscle. Good thing, but that was demotivating. No amount of exercise will help you lose significant amounts of weight. It's really, people are misguided when they're told, oh, you've got to, run it off. It doesn't work. Noom is getting there. It's trying to get us to eat healthier. It's got a little bit of mindset stuff in there, but you're on your own. You're on your own going through it, and there's constantly checking in with this app and tracking and measuring. Same thing with Zoe, constantly. Zoe's great. The scientists, they know a bit about what they're talking about, got a lot of respect for them. They don't know everything about the natural human diet, and they're very closed-minded about it. But I've done Zoe, and but basically it's entering everything you eat in an app, every single meal, and who wants to do that? And it's scoring you. What I will say about Zoe is when I did Zoe, I was already scoring 80 out of 100. Now their threshold is that you want to get to 50. You want to score 50 in a day. I was already scoring 80. To do their tests, their blood sugar tests, I had to downgrade the way I was eating. And that was like, what? So it's definitely, it's all right for some people. If somebody wants to track and log, then it can help some people, but there's no coaching built in. There's no hand holding. Right, so let's move on. I felt like a failure because I couldn't do it. And I thought it was me. I thought it was because I had no willpower. I felt constantly deprived. I felt like it was such a pain all the time. Is this how life's going to be? Constantly tracking and measuring and weighing. And the recipes they gave me to follow, oh God, that wasn't the way I ate. It was hard work, all that shopping, all that weighing, all that measuring, eating stuff I didn't like. And the only wins The only success measurement of success was if you got a weight loss on the scale on a Monday evening. That was the only motivation. And if you didn't, there was no motivation at all. It taught me how to cheat. My dad told me, next time you start Slimming World, he said, put some rocks in your pockets. Because when you go on week 2, you'll be Slimmer of the Week. That's how to do it. And how many people who did Slimming World or those weigh-ins did something similar? Oh, I'll wear my really light clothes today because I haven't been very good. Or I tell you what I'll do, I won't eat. Oh, yeah, Tracy recognises that. I'm not going to eat all day Monday because I'm weighing. I think if I ever had any success on Slimming World, it's because I didn't eat all day Monday because I was weighing in that night. You know, it just doesn't teach you good habits at all. I felt miserable. And it ignored all the emotional reasons for eating. We're going to come to that. It just ignored them completely, didn't address them, just expected you to have so much willpower to get through it, right? Let's talk about you, my darlings. So do feel free and comfortable to share if you, the recording is going out, but I've spotlighted me, so you won't be shown on the recording. Who would like to share? How do you feel about your health right now? And how do you feel about your weight? You know, this is not fat shaming in any way. Everybody should be exactly the way they want to be. But how do you know, I didn't feel good about it because I didn't look like me. How is it for you? But, you know, the focus, as always, is on health first. Weight loss is a natural side effect. But does it affect your ability to do the things you love? Does it affect your ability to, Venetia, your martial arts? Yeah? Was it affecting your ability in your martial arts?
Yeah, and it has done again because I've slipped back. I've had, as you know, I've had stuff going on and I've slipped back, and I've found that I'm falling asleep and I'm getting stiff and sore. So I have gone like, right, this is like, I really need to get back on it completely. So Mum and I are going to do it together, and I'm going to clear the cupboards of all this shit, because I know how much better I felt when I did it.
Absolutely. Good girl. Well done. It does affect our ability. A lot of women come to me and they say, it's not so much the weight. They think it's the weight, but actually
it's the stomach.
It's partly the stomach gets in the way, but also it's the joint pain. It's the inflexibility, which is the inflammation. So it's the two go hand in hand, extra weight and inflammation and stiffness. And it means that into our 50s and 60s, we're held back. We shouldn't be held back. You know, I'm going sailing, paddleboarding, swimming in the sea. Nothing's holding me back. And you want to see the hill I'm climbing back from the beach. Nothing holds me back now, but it did. The weight and the inflammation really held me back, and I felt like I was getting old before my time. So it definitely affected my body image. It definitely affected my confidence because I was required to present in work and also stand in front of a big group of people as a choir leader. And not being able to wear something flattering really affected my confidence. And it affected the things I said yes to, the invitations I accepted. Very often, I would not accept an invitation to an event where I had to wear a cocktail dress or something like that, because I just thought, there's nothing I can wear. It massively impacted my social life, my confidence, choosing clothes. Has anybody ever had a tearful experience in the changing rooms in the shops? You know, you go to try something on and they haven't got anything that's flattering for you. They don't have a clue how to make clothes for the curvy woman. And you come out of there, you just need one outfit for an event, you find nothing. It's so demoralizing. Well, I can honestly tell you, I love clothes shopping now. I'm still shopping for a size 14 right now, but it feels amazing compared to where I was, you know? It feels lovely, beautiful. I'm happy. Really happy when I go clothes shopping, which is amazing to be able to say that when I've been tearful in the past. Showing up as your true, authentic self. This is not about being skinny. This is not about being a perfect size 8 or 10 or whatever, or 12 or whatever it is. It's not. It's about eating in a way that the body releases the weight that it wants to release. And when you release a little bit of weight and you get over the symptoms, you feel, oh, this is me again. It's being in the body that is your true, authentic self. And for a lot of my clients, they're still, what's the word? Voluptuous and curvaceous, and they love it. It's their true, authentic self, not about being skinny. So let me ask you this as well. And if you're following in your workbook, there's a question on this. If you could become the healthiest, most vibrant, truest version of yourself, okay, say goodbye to the symptoms, or at least significant relief from those symptoms that we've mentioned, and significant release of the excess weight. Now, for the average person who does my program, about 90 days, that's £20. It's a dress size, sometimes 2. And some people go on to then release more. Some people have released up to 3 stone if they've been on the larger side to start with. So if it's about weight for you, what difference would that make to your life and how you feel to release a dress size or 2? Yeah, to let go of the weight on your joints, the weight on your feet when you're climbing up the hill, to have more energy and to be able to put those beautiful clothes on that you've been keeping in the cupboard for all those years, thinking I'll get back into that one day. Let me tell you this, the other day, I'll just stop sharing for a moment so I can connect with you in the room. The other day, well, it wasn't the other day, it was a few months ago, I was going through a bag of clothes that I'd shoved up the attic, right? They were old style 14s. Now we know that sizes have got bigger, right? Old style 14s from when I was in my 20s. And I go back to when I was in my 20s, I was still struggling with my weight, but I think I'd been on a diet. I'd managed to temporarily lose some. For my birthday, there was this red dress. It was an old style 14. So that's like a small 14 or a large 12. And I waited 25, maybe even 28 years to get back into that bloody dress. I put it on and it was too big. So I sold it on Vinted. Ruby managed to get £14 for it. I was so delighted. Beautiful dress, not really my style, but that, do you know what I'm saying? You get back into those clothes. I've had so many clients say, oh, it just felt so good to be able to take that dress that I've been keeping. Never thought I'd get back into it. And not only am I in it, it's actually big. You know, it's so lovely. So what does anybody want to share? You know, what's coming up for you? How would that feel for you?
For me, living where I live, it's going out with friends and the way that they eat over here, and it's just difficult. But I have disappointed myself that I wanted to get into clothes and now I can't because I lived the life out here, and now I've just got to work out how I can do it without restricting myself. So
yeah. Well, this will be a refresher for you, darling, because we're going to refresh the 3 things, 3 key things. Right, so if anybody else wants to share, just pop it in the chat, but let me share again and I'll whiz through my slides now so that we get through this. Right, let me click. Is that the one now? Presenter window, audience window, share. So there's three secrets that I want to share with you. I'm just going to touch on them in this. There's 3 things that are required in order to get you into optimal health, release weight naturally, and keep it off. Okay, and there are 3 things that most diets and other health programs do not understand and do not address, and they are critical. And to my knowledge, this is the only program in the world that understands this. And I'm just going to give you a little taster of what that is now. First thing is the optimal human diet. Remember, every animal on the planet has its own naturally evolved diet. And when we deviate from that, we cause ourselves all kinds of problems, including weight gain. It's not just one way of eating all year round. Lo and behold, I'll just flick to the next slide and come back. There's actually 4 seasons. And in 4 seasons, the way, if you can imagine the way we evolved, hunter-gatherer, food in the winter was very different from food in the summer. Food in the spring was very different from food in the autumn. And what we find is that when we eat in a natural, spring-like way, that's when the energy comes, and that's when you start burning fat. Yeah, natural spring is a season for more focus, more energy, burning fat, full of the joys of spring. Come on, let's get going, right? That's what spring does to you. You need to learn how to eat in spring-like way. Whereas most people, pretty much everybody on the planet these days, is living life in a perpetual dirty version of what autumn intended. Autumn is a sweeter season. It's designed to be carby. It's designed to store a little bit of extra fat on the human body, maybe about 5 pounds of extra fat, so that you could survive a harsh winter, right? Winter would be very little food around. Who's heard of the benefits of fasting? The health benefits of fasting, right? So we derive from winter health benefits from fasting. So what we find is every season has an incredibly powerful lesson and health benefit for us. So on my program that I coach that 300,000 people have done now. It's not, I didn't invent it. I was somebody that did it 5 years ago. We coach 4 seasons, because when you want party season, you can enjoy autumn, right? Party season, abundance. When you want more energy and you want to release a bit of weight, you go into spring. And I am now right here, right now, I'm in a season that we call Hunter Spring, and the weight is falling off me and I'm feeling amazing. No afternoon slump. So that's the first secret, okay? Secret number 2 is there's not just one thing called hunger. There's 6 different ways you can be hungry. Anybody ever come across this before? Right, let's see if it resonates for you, okay? Number 1, this is why I asked you all to have a glass of water with you. No surprises. Thirst, yeah? Anybody resonate with thirst being a hunger? Yeah, when we're thirsty, we snack. The body is designed, it's evolved that way because we evolved to get most of our water from the food we eat, the plants, the fruit, the veg. That would have been out. So when you're low on water, when you're dehydrated, body goes find food. Okay, but we look for food these days and we're getting dry food like crisps, and the signals are just all messed up and we're dehydrated. That's thirst, number 1. The next one is this one where low blood sugar hunger, the one where you are utterly drained in the afternoon, or the minute you get through the door, you've had a hard day and you're utterly drained and you desperately need something to eat. So you grab whatever's there. You walk in past, you get a meal deal. You go past Greg's, you're desperate. Didn't really want one of these, but I gotta have it. That's low blood sugar hunger. That's not normal hunger. Normal, real, true hunger does not feel desperate. Yeah, I can go till 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'll go, I'm hungry now, a bit hungry. It's not desperate. It's not desperate. My blood sugars are managed. It's like, right, let's start prepping food now. Plenty of time, no rush. That's real hunger. And that's what the third one is, nutritional hunger. It's genuine, it's not urgent, and it tells you what to eat. The hunger that when we're properly nourished, it'll tell you, do you need some protein? Do you need some, whatever, salt, right? It will give you the signals and you can actually test it. Do I want eggs? I'm not sure about eggs. No, body says I've had too many eggs this week. Oh, I know what I really want. Tuna bowl, steak, whatever it is. Nutritional hunger is the one genuine hunger. Just before we come to empty stomach, variety hunger is evolved into us because if carrots were abundant where we were living and we ate nothing but carrots, we would be malnourished. So we've got an inbuilt mechanism to tell humans to go and get variety. Yeah. So there is this actual thing. Like what I've said, if you've had too many eggs in 1 week, or if you've had I'm bored of that, I need something else. But so it's a natural, healthy thing. But the problem is in this modern world, it keeps us munching. And look at the variety of foods that are available, foods and non-foods, all the crisps, all the chocolate, all the takeaways, all the different possible fast food, all the different types of donut. The variety now is dramatic. So not more variety, because nature provides a lot of variety, but it's all around us. And that variety hunger keeps us going, oh, that looks nice. I fancy trying one of those. Yeah. And then we're going to come to empty stomach hunger, which is what I've got now. I haven't eaten for, what did I have lunch? I had lunch hours and hours ago. And I'm absolutely fine. My stomach is empty and I'm fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But most of us associate, because we've been told you've got to have breakfast, you've got to have lunch, you've got to have tea, you've got to have dinner, you've got to have supper. And it's like conditioned. Most of us now think, oh, my stomach is empty, I need to eat. But actually, it's important to have an empty stomach sometimes to give the digestive system a break. Yeah, so that's another one. And then finally, because we're going to move on to emotional eating. Is everyone all right to stay till the hour? Yeah, great. I'll get through it all in the hour. Emotional. This is huge. Who can resonate with emotional eating? Comfort eating. Yeah. Oh, Tracy, I just noticed that you put something in the chat, darling. It would be amazing to feel amazing supporting the suicide prevention cause and breaking the stigma of suicide. That's your passion, darling. Thank you for sharing that. If you were in your best possible healthy self, then how much more could you do to support your passions and your, you know, the things that you love? Thank you for sharing. We've all got our thing that we love to give back to the world. Well, let's be in our best possible health and body confidence to bring those gifts to the world. That's what it's all about for me. So emotional eating, who can resonate? We turn to chocolate to reward ourselves, don't we? Oh, I've had a hard day. It's been a bad day. I've had some bad news. It's hard for me at the moment because I'm going through a lot. We all got stuff going on. Sometimes we have terrible stuff going on. And we turn to food because we think it's going to make us feel better. Darlings, does the food make us feel better?
No.
Is there anybody who thinks that in times of need for comfort, reward, does the food make you feel better? Is there anyone that thinks it does? Because it can feel like it does. And if it feels like it's the food that's making you feel better, let me ask you this. Next time you experience it, no guilt, right? Be objective. I'm eating this donut because I'm rewarding myself. Right. You reward yourself by making the decision to do something nice for yourself. That feels good. Oh, I'm going to do something nice for myself. Oh, I've got the day off, that feeling. Oh, I've just decided we're going to have a bottle of wine tonight. Oh, that feels good. But when you drink the wine, when you eat the donut, when you eat the fish and chips, or you stuff yourself on the takeaway, do you feel better? Usually the truth is, no, we feel worse because physically it's made us feel a bit horrible. And sometimes emotionally, we're like, well, what the hell did I do that for? That goes against everything I stand for. It's cost me money. I'm trying to lose some weight. Now I feel crap. I'm not setting a great example for the kids. It doesn't make us feel better nearly always. So it's recognizing what is the emotional state we are trying to change by turning to that junk food or gastronomic, whatever it is, indulgence. What is the emotional state? So we've got to recognize what it is. What emotional need are we trying to satisfy? And once you recognize that it's not, the food is not going to address that emotional state, actually there's something else you need to do. If it's comfort, we need to explore how can you feel more comforted? How can you get more self-care? If it's reward, I've had a great day, I've had a bad day, I've worked really hard. If it's reward, let's find other rewards that are truly rewarding, that truly make you feel, yeah, did a good job. We need to address the root cause of emotional eating in different ways. And that is not something that happens overnight. That is something that requires training and skill building. Okay, skill building. So next slide. Let's move on from emotional eating. We talked about the 6 human hungers and nutritional hunger. It's important that you learn to satisfy all the hungers in the right way, and particularly nutritional hunger in the right way. Very few people eating a typical healthy diet are satisfying all their nutritional requirements correctly. There's a lot of misleading advice. There's a lot of incorrect advice out there. And we know it's incorrect because of how many people are doing it now the optimal way and say, when I eat that, I feel worse. So we know from trial and error. So when you do this, you're nutritionally complete, your blood sugars are stable, and you've got good insulin sensitivity, metabolic health improves, right? Gut health improves. Energy, focus, clarity, motivation go up. Your desire for healthy food go up. That's connected with the gut brain. It tells you to go and find more healthy food. It loves it, it thrives on it. Your sleep improves, your mental well-being, your fitness improves even before you start doing any exercise, but you will be motivated to do some. And your muscle improves. This is what we're finding is when we eat really, really well, all those things improve. What goes down? What decreases? Well, naturally, we release body fat, particularly if we can get you into the season we call spring, which is the fat burning, high energy metabolic state. Body fat reduce, the slump goes. Cravings, I can tell you now, I'm eating in Hunter Spring, no cravings. Desire for junk food goes down because the gut microbes that like junk food die off. Okay, the cravings come from the gut, plus emotions. But the ones that feel physical, the ones that feel like they're coming from your body, they're coming from the gut brain. Joint pain, stiffness, inflammation, headaches, gut issues, risk of chronic disease, blah, 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 blah. Everything we talked about decreases dramatically. It's incredible. Secret number 3 that you absolutely need on any program that is going to help you achieve this optimal health, release weight sustainably without dieting, is the psychology. It's the food psychology. It's the food mindset. It's the behavior change. It's releasing guilt, that old diet mentality. So number 1, we focus always on self-care and compassion. There's no beating yourself up on this. There is no failing, because failure keeps you stuck in a cycle of beating yourself up and then depriving yourself. And it's horrible. I can't believe I did that for 35 years. 35 years. God, doesn't bear thinking about. We get you releasing guilt, because guilt, who feels guilty sometimes when they eat certain things? Right? Yeah. How does that feel? Right? You eat it. What is it for you, Sally? Is it crisps, donuts, chocolate, takeaway? Is there anything in particular that causes that guilt? Takeaways, right? Talk me through the guilt after you've had it.
It was that bit you were saying before about doing it as a reward, but then feeling awful afterwards.
And what do you say to yourself afterwards?
That I've got no self-control, that I've spent money on something that I didn't need to spend money on, that it's got loads of calories in, and
those negative thoughts. What's the matter with you? You've done it again. All that. Does that help you?
No.
It doesn't sort of help anyone, right? So one of the steps in this psychology piece is releasing guilt. So the beautiful thing is when you coach with me, I will help you release guilt, not just around food. I'll help you release guilt around everything that doesn't support you. And how effective is that, Venetia? Releasing that guilt.
Amazing. It's amazing. And because I've done Well Fit with Sue, I've followed Sue for a long time, but due to circumstances, I couldn't do it. But I have done Well Fit, and my mental health was really, really bad. I tried suicide twice.
Oh, no.
And I used to self-harm. But now I know how the food affects me mentally. And I know when I've eaten something or drunk something I shouldn't, and I feel awful afterwards. And I know my mental health really struggles with it. So I really need to I've seen the worst side of it, but I've seen how effective it is, and it helps my self-esteem no end.
So much love, darling, and thank you for sharing that.
Right. And I'm happy if if anybody else wants to chat about it without Sue, or they just want to reach out, I'm really happy to just not, I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm happy to chat to people.
Thank you, sweetheart. And I'm so, so glad we met and that you found some freedom.
I've got a couple of other people that I want to speak to you about the food and the ADHD and autism.
There's another topic. Thanks for bringing that up. Just quickly, I know that Sally and Tracy were at the mental health and well-being show, and Kevin was, where I spoke about the connection between food, just from experience, really, and mental health, but also ADHD symptoms. And I described a time when I had a massive ADHD meltdown because I was eating off plan. This was just a couple of years ago, and then it occurred to me, oh my God, I've been eating a lot of sugar and that kind of thing because it was Christmas and we had a guest and and I thought, oh my God, I used to be like this all the time. I used to be like erratic, crazy, shouty, stressed, blaming, accusative. Before WildFit, I used to be like this all the time. And so in that moment, I realized that I'm not like that now when I'm eating on plan. My ADHD, my mood, I was always volatile, but I'm not anymore. It wasn't a character defect. It was the bloody way I was eating. So guilt is just one of the, mental, the psychological things that we can release. But
to the anxiety, if I get anxious, I now stop and go, what have I eaten that makes me feel anxious? And then I can identify it, and then I can get on with what I'm doing, and I try and identify whether I'm getting anxious because of the food I've eaten, or whether it's because it's of something new that I'm doing that I'm not sure what it's about, but I know that food really affects my anxiety.
This is great. So you can identify, is it a behavior or an influence?
Yeah.
Or is it actually something I've eaten? And you can look back at anything that was off plan, because we got freedom. I'll come to freedom on a separate slide. But you can now assess whether it was the food.
Yeah.
That is complete freedom, right? To be able to choose and know what the implications are. Let me just finish whizzing through this. It's one of the key things about lasting behavior change is to use really clever behavior change psychology. You've got to know which step, one doable step to implement when. So this program has been designed so that you implement just one step at a time. We make one change per week, but in the right order so that it feels doable and not too hard work, and you're ready for the next step. Whereas all the other plans in the world tell you everything in one go. We take, between you and me, we take 6 weeks to make all the steps. It takes us 6 weeks to make all the steps, yeah? It's not like, follow this diet, off you go. Good luck, right? It's doable. It's iterative. It builds. Positive. Focusing on your success, staying off the scales. Your success is not measured by the gains or losses on the scales. Right, willpower. Who has got really willpower of steel? Anybody? No, I never get anybody with. Oh, Tracy, amazing. Tracy's got willpower of steel. Does it?
No, well, only if I'm on it. I'm either on it or I'm off it.
I
don't think there's
only if you're on it.
But yeah, I'm a Taurian. I'm so stubborn that actually once I've got my head in the right frame, then I'm absolutely on it. There's no deviation.
But
when I'm off it, I'm quite off it.
Willpower is like a muscle. We've only got so much willpower to give, and we get willpower fatigue. Tracy, I'm so pleased you've got loads of willpower. You won't need it on this program, darling. But for most people, like most people didn't put their hands up. Lynette, I don't know if you were about to say something, love. Jump on if you were. But most people don't have any willpower really to speak of. Mine was non-existent because I'm a rebel. You tell me what to do and I'll go, no. Right? So it was negative willpower. But the problem with willpower is it doesn't address the root causes of our cravings, of our overeating, of our compulsions. It doesn't address the root cause at all. And willpower is short-lived. Restriction with me leads to rebellion. You tell me I can't have something and I'll immediately want it. So that doesn't work. Restriction doesn't work. So you've got to be really, really clever to change the way you're eating one step at a time without it feeling like restriction. And that's where the magic is in the way this program has been designed. Incidentally, it was designed by a guy called Eric Edmeades, who his grandfather was an anthropologist who studied ancient humans. He's very famous for discovering a very famous Paleolithic skull. Eric was an expert in behavior change psychology with a passion for evolutionary biology because of his grandfather. So those things combined, plus he had his own health transformation when he started eating in a more natural way. Some friends gave him some advice. He transformed his health, knowing what he knows. And he was already a big world-renowned speaker. He trained and spoke with Tony Robbins. And, you know, that whole crowd. So he was already very successful. He's put this program together and it is completely changing the world. Willpower backfires, okay? It ignores the feelings, the emotions. It ignores our hormonal cravings. And it's stressful. And when you're stressed, you will revert to old habits, okay? So forget willpower. What we need is want power. Right, I'm coming to the end, my darlings. Do please stay up 5 minutes over just so I can complete this and make the special offer that I was going to make you. Angela was on here yesterday. She was sailing at the time. I think she's just turned 60 and there she is sailing, and we're going sailing in Croatia together next year. Angela released all her joint pain and is now maintaining 5 stones below where she was and just loving life. No longer ruled by food. So the program that I've been talking about, I don't really call it my Mind Shift 90. I'm thinking of a new name for it, but it is my Health Transformation and Food Freedom Program. I didn't create it, but with my coaching as a wrapper around this framework, it makes it very unique to me. There's nobody else in the world that coaches it with this mindset stuff, the freedom, the flexibility, releasing the guilt. That's all me. We get you properly nourished. Positive psychology, one doable step at a time. You feel better. This is the big thing. When you've been asked to make one change, doable change, you've done it for a week and you go, oh my God, I only made one change, but I feel better. Yeah. When you feel better, you want to keep that change. That's how it works. It's no longer, we don't have to tell you what to do anymore. We suggest, hey, try this for a week. You try it, you feel better. You want to keep that change and it embeds, because like Venetia was saying earlier, when you go back, when you revert, the symptoms come back and you go, no guilt. I know what caused that. So you know how to eat for your best, to feel your best. Real foods, you know, not unusual, wacky, hippie foods, normal foods, bologneses, curries, meat, fish, eggs, dinners, roasts, vegetarian meals, casseroles, normal foods, salads, soups. The difference is I will coach you how to make the swaps that make those foods super optimized for your health and your freedom lifestyle. So I just wanted to show you this slide about freedom. Conscious gastronomy is what I call it. Okay, so you will learn how to differentiate from compulsion. And actually, I really would like this beautiful chocolate cake that is on offer in that local patisserie. And do you know what? I feel like I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to get my friend. We're going to have a lovely bit of cake and it's going to be divine. Yeah. And the same thing goes for a really nice glass of wine, or you get bought the most exquisite box of chocolates for your birthday. Whatever it is, it's there for you. I coach how to do it. I coach how to really appreciate good quality indulgences. Okay, I call it conscious gastronomy and it's there for you. I teach that in the last 3 weeks of the program. No relying on willpower, sustainable, blah, blah, blah. There's a good cohort to show you. This is a typical cohort. Got a couple of chaps in there as well. Paul, I've coached a few chaps. I've got a whole page of men and families on my success stories page, but these are, you know, they've just been asked to share the win that they were most delighted about. So some people have said how much weight they lost, but more often than not, it's how they feel. The joint pain, the stiffness, food's no longer in control of me. But quite a few of them have put their weight loss. That's quite a significant one, 34 pounds. We see, you know, there's a full range, but there's a few.
I lost 8.3 kilos in 40 days and 4 inches from my waist.
Well done, you. That sounds, how did that feel? That's the important thing.
Amazing.
Felt amazing.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate numbers. We celebrate how people feel. Well done, Venetia. Just a few more slides of people so that you can see there's lots more real people who've been through this, not just Venetia. I've coached 280 now. Lucy, dear friend, she was already fairly slender. She wanted to break free from her compulsive eating. She felt like she was controlled by food. So it's comfort eating. So she's free from constant fatigue now, healthier, nails are stronger, digestion happier, and she released 14 pounds, which for her was really significant. It was nearly 10% of her body weight, but she's just so free now from the compulsive eating. It's she's just, you know, absolutely radiant. Lovely Barb. She's a couples sex therapist. She's sensational. She released 40 pounds. And she said she got her va-va-voom back. She got it, you know, it even improved things with her partner. You know, how wonderful at 70, feeling sexy and vibrant. She thought she was eating healthy, darlings. She used to cook from scratch and was following the Mediterranean diet. There was a lot of things that she needed to change. Quite surprising. Donna, one of my most, it just fills me with love and joy when I think about what Donna changed. Life coach, but was really being held back because she didn't want a photo taken because she was too ashamed. So she couldn't do social media. So she wasn't showing up confidently in her business. And she was unwell. She'd been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, perimenopause, COPD, and type 2 diabetes, you know, the lot. And she was one of the people who knew it was the way she was eating. And when she heard me talking about a program, we were both on a business mastermind together. And she said, Sue, you've got the answer for me. I know it's the way I'm eating, but I don't know what to do about it. I'm living off sugar cravings. Anyway, Donna is an amazing success story. She's living her best life now. She couldn't even get out of bed before. But it wasn't just the weight release, the 20 kilograms. It wasn't just that. It was the energy and the wellness. And she's now going to India. She's climbing mountains. She's swimming 100 lengths. It's just incredible, the transformation. Justine is similar. She's from Cardiff. She's also another choir leader. She came to me not because she wanted to release weight, but she did release a lot of weight. The main thing for Justine was she couldn't move easily. It used to take her 20 minutes to get out of bed in the morning, and she was in a lot of pain with her back. She had a back injury. She still got the back injury, but the pain is greatly reduced, and she can now just get out of bed without having to for 20 minutes. Geraint reversed his type 2 diabetes. So did both of my parents, and he got off his blood pressure meds. He's incredible with his weight loss story, but you know, he was a big guy. But yeah, he's one of my biggest advocates now for health as well as weight release. And finally, Wendy, again, similar story. Now, I don't want to keep you any longer, so I'm going to make the offer to you, my darlings. If you're at all interested in what I've been talking about, you know, hopefully you've got some tips there so that you feel like you know a little bit more now, and you understand why it is you've been struggling. So I hope that you feel you've got value from this. But for those of you who absolutely want that health transformation that I'm talking about, it can be yours by August. Okay, so we start on the 30th of June. It's quite early to join now. It's what is it, something like 3 weeks Monday, and because of that, I'm offering early bird bonuses. Now, I didn't put them on the slide, but I'll just stop sharing. I'll put it in the chat. All you need to do is oh, okay, Lynette, sorry, love, I didn't see that 10 minutes ago. Been eating under 1,200 calories and still not losing weight. No sugar, low carbs. I walk 2 to 4 miles a day. ovaries been removed? Yes, absolutely, darling. So eating under 1,200 calories a day is putting your body into starvation mode, and your body is holding on to the weight. It's stressful. You're holding on to cortisol, and cortisol prevents women from releasing weight. Let's have a chat, darling, and we can talk through all that. I'm sorry that you couldn't unmute. So I just wanted to share what the bonuses are for anybody that jumps on and books a call with me this week. So you haven't got to book the call this week. The call hasn't got to be this week. You can be next week or the week after. But if you book the call this week, then I will extend you what I call my early bird bonuses. One of those is we get an extra week. If you join early, we get an extra week that we can start doing all the preparation stuff, the big why. I'll get you into the right frame of mind to join. You can meet the other people in the group. So you get a bonus week. I'll also share with you my emotional eating masterclass, which can be a game changer. Keep coming back to that. So there's a few little bonuses there if you sign up, just to encourage you to sign up quickly while the iron is hot, right? While you're in your best frame of mind. So that is it, my darlings. I'm going to pop in the chat the link. If you want to book that chat with me, it's very informal. There's not going to be any pressure at all. It's just for you to understand more about how it works and what's required of you, and for me to understand a little bit about you, because I'm a little bit selective. You've got to be the right kind of person to do this with me. There are certain people that I won't take, and we can talk about that on the call. But I think everybody in this room qualifies. You're all so lovely, and you all got your head screwed on. So please just reach out, let's have an informal chat. There'll be absolutely no pressure at all, but I can tell you more about it, and you can make a decision based on our conversation. Okay, you've got plenty of time to decide. Are there any questions on anything I've shared? And is there anything anybody wants to share from something I asked and you thought, oh yeah, I wish I'd said that? Okay, well, it looks like we are wrapped up. Thank you all so much for staying on a little bit. So if I could get it all covered. It's a big one today with the dieting, so there's a lot to talk about. Tomorrow is at 1 p.m. and we're going to be talking more about food relationship, emotional eating, cravings, food psychology, the whole shebang, because that's fundamental. We've got to master that if we're going to master long-term health and sustainable weight management. Okay, my darling. So do try and join me at 1 p.m. Do tell your friends, because I'll be doing a recap of the week as well. Okay, how's that sound? Great. Thanks for being here. Lots of love to you all. And I hope to see you all at 1 p.m. UK tomorrow. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin, reach out to me, won't you? Well, let's have a chat about that TUC thing. Bye, love.